Well, good afternoon, and a warm welcome to students, colleagues, parents, and guardians to one of our school's most celebrated traditions, Branksome Hall's installation ceremony. Today, as Branksome Hall's 8th principal, and as we start our 121st anniversary year, I am so honored to preside over our school's 96th installation. A celebration recognizing student leadership in its many forms. And it's a very special day for me personally, as this is my first installation ceremony, an occasion I will surely remember for many, many years to come. How lovely is it for the first time to see our GYs wearing their red ties and our prefects out in their beautiful red kilts and blazers. You guys look marvelous today. It is an honor to stand before you, as today is my installation as the 8th principal at Branksome Hall, a school so deeply rooted in tradition, yet so forward-looking. You, the next generation of leaders at Branksome Hall, you are also embarking on your year of leadership. You will carry a legacy that is both rich and revolutionary. This legacy is not something that simply rests in dusty history books or framed portraits on our walls, or even in a brooch on a sash. It's alive, and it's in everything that we do here at Branksome Hall. It breathes through every one of us, guiding us and inspiring us and pushing us to do even better every single day. Branksome Hall has always been ahead of its time. It has never been a school that's been satisfied with the status quo, and that's because of the incredibly strong, courageous, and persistent women who have come before us. Leaders who saw challenges as opportunities to drive change. This summer, I read the wonderful book, The Road Well Kept, about the history of Branksome Hall. And one story that stood out was about our second principal, Miss Edith Reed, a woman certainly ahead of her time. She was faced with a dangerous intersection at Elm and Mount Pleasant, and she didn't see a problem. She saw an opportunity for change and an opportunity for leadership. When she was told by the city that a stoplight was not possible, she simply refused to hear the word no. She refused to take no for an answer. Together with her students, they challenged the city of Toronto and led the effort to have that stoplight installed after all. This is more than just a story of civic engagement. It's a story of innovation, of leadership, and of courage. Edith Reed and her students recognized that leadership isn't just about accepting the status quo, it's about finding creative ways to make the world a better place, even when it might seem impossible at the time. And this is who Branksome Hall is. And this is who the leaders of tomorrow will need to be. In a world where the challenges are increasingly complex, where outdated systems may no longer serve us, we need leaders who will challenge assumptions and who will be bold enough to ask, why not? Just like Edith Reed and her students did. Innovation is not simply about technology. It's about breaking barriers and refusing to accept the limits placed on us. It's a reminder that real change and innovation require vision and the courage to act when no one else will. And here we are today, standing on the shoulders of those powerful leaders that came before us. Their courage, their resilience, their passion, they are in our Branksome DNA. But the world that we live in now is vastly different than theirs was. These are unprecedented times. The multitude of challenges we face, climate change, social justice issues, world conflict, even the impact of AI, are far more complex than ever before. So what does it mean to be a leader today in this new world that we're living in? What do we need to succeed in an ever-changing and sometimes unpredictable future? Well, I think there are many things that we need, but we don't have time for that today. I want to highlight just a few. First, we need to be human-centered leaders. Leadership today is not just about making decisions or meeting a bottom line, it's about people. It's about understanding people. It's about truly listening to different perspectives and embracing diversity of thought, culture, and the experiences that surround us. When we listen to understand, not just listen to respond, listening becomes very powerful. It's through listening that we build relationships. And through those relationships, of course, we build trust. And trust is the foundation on which all great leadership is built. One of my favorite authors is Margaret Wheatley, and I had the great pleasure to hear her speak in New York a few years ago. And she said something that really stuck with me. She said, "Very great change starts from very small conversations held among people who care." In organizations, real power and energy is generated through relationships. The pattern of relationships and the capacities to form them are far more important than tasks, more important than function, roles, and positions. Second, we must learn to navigate complexity. As we near the International Day of Peace this Saturday, on September 21st, we are reminded of how complex our world is, with so much conflict, strife, political uncertainty. The issues that you will face as leaders won't come with simple answers, I'm afraid, or with quick solutions. They will require you to dig deep, to understand the nuance, and to become comfortable in the gray areas where sometimes there's no clear right or wrong. This is where your ability to listen, collaborate openly, and to think critically will make all the difference. You will need to embrace uncertainty and make decisions that reflect both compassion and intelligence. And this is what the IB prepares you to understand, that more than one perspective can be right, that rarely is anything black or white, and that there can be many truths in one issue. You'll hear more on this very shortly from our keynote speaker and Branksome alum, Heather Wright-Deluce, about how she navigates covering those many perspectives in the important work that she does in journalism. And finally, we must all be innovators. The challenges of today require fresh thinking. Innovation isn't just about technology or science, though those are vital. It's about finding new ways to build community, new ways to lead with empathy, and having the confidence and the tools to solve the world's greatest challenges. At Branksome, our commitment to innovation and to teaching you the skills and competencies that you need is clear. It's clear in our dedication to projects like our ICAST building, which shows that we are not just learning for the future, we are building it, quite literally. We are putting our action where our values are. We are creating spaces for you to explore, to experiment, and to envision what is possible, just like the generations of strong Branksome women who've come before you. We are providing you with rich examples of what all kinds of innovation look like, from our Shandaria Research Center, our Center for Strategic Leadership, all firsts of their kind, all run by leaders right here at Branksome Hall, and all in service of you and your growth and your success. And then there are the daily curricular innovations in your classroom. I've been privileged to observe those in the first weeks of school. I've seen social emotional learning knit together with critical thinking, creative learning and assessment approaches, all in the service of preparing you to be equipped to thrive and to lead. This spirit of innovation, combined with our passion and values, will make the world a better place. I really believe that. And so, GYs, I ask you an important question. What kind of leaders will you be? How will you honor the past to innovate for the future? Because the world really needs you. We really need leaders who will listen, who care deeply, and who are unafraid to challenge the status quo. GYs, you're going to be asked many times in the coming months, if you haven't been already, questions like, where are you going next? What are you doing next year? These are heavy questions, and I would argue not the most important question that you should be asking yourself. My wish for you this year is that you focus on this question: who do you want to be? What choices and characteristics will define your last year here at Branksome Hall and then go to define you beyond. Each choice you make this year is like casting a vote for who you want to be. And so my advice for you is to vote wisely. Let's continue to honor the legacy of the remarkable women who came before us by being bold, empathetic, and innovative leaders that the world so desperately needs right now. It is my commitment today at the installation as your new principal that we will go beyond imagining the future and that we will indeed build it together. Thank you so much.